So apparently I'm the only one in the VR VS world that had no idea that I needed the radio pin to get that radio working because I had the battery off. Which makes sense because when I bought this car from the auctions, it had a flat battery and they had to jump start it. So I just assumed this radio never worked, and going by the 70 plus comments of people telling me, just put the code in and it'll work. Let's see. And lucky, I went through the books and stuff like that. I thought the code has got to be here somewhere. Aha! 5123. 5123. Hey! Ho ho! I'll turn it off before I get copyrighted. Bashy works. Hoppa! 5123, boys and girls. Thanks to everyone that abused me. Sorry I didn't know. Radio works. Now I have definitely not learnt my lesson from my XE when I tried to put a tape in there and it ate the shit out of it, but I'm gonna do it. I need to know if the tape deck works. We got Little Richard, we got Meatloaf, we got InXS, and we got some Chuck Berry in here. I think we're gonna have to go some InXS. Good old Michael Hutchins, mate. The moment of truth here. Am I about to lose a tape? Hey! Come on! Oh, I'm gonna get copyrighted. Even the tape deck works, mate.
A few moments later.
So believe it or not, while I set these up here, oh, this thing, VR Senator, is sold. I got a deposit yesterday, and I'm now dropping the car to my mum's because I can't get the day off work to meet with the guy. And the car's going to Adelaide, believe it or not. Sight unseen, he's flying in and driving it back. So I'm getting together all my stuff, drop the car at my mum's. I got the stock exhaust in the boot, and I'll let my mum deal with it. Sold, mate. Going. Factory plates going with it. That's it.
I'm thinking visiting my sister.
See you, buddy.
20 minutes later. Why don't you go visit your sister up north?
So the Senator is officially gone. The car went to Adelaide. I can't remember if I mentioned that. Guy was super nice and very easy to deal with. Like, no bullshit. I try to do really good ads and word them properly and take good photos so that there is minimal questions that need to be asked. You just know what the car is and that's what you're getting. And he understood that, gave me a deposit, flew in from Adelaide, actually picked up the car from my mum because I had to go to work, so I didn't even meet the guy. And he drove it however far it is, what is it, 7, 8, 9 hours to Adelaide, I don't know, from here. And yeah, no issues. He was wrapped, sent me a message when he got back, you know, happy, no issues whatsoever driving it. So a very easy, good sale. You know, we came to an agreement on the price we were both happy with. So I'll also address the money thing later because I know you guys like that, like what the car owed me and what I got for it and stuff like that, what I spent on it. But I know a lot of people are going to ask why I sold that car, which is when I put the ad up, my inbox went crazy with people just why? Because I want to, that's why. But reason is, look, after the VN, because the VN I got rid of because I was getting a bit worried about being pulled over in that car, you know, non-engineered, and if I got pulled over in that, I was pretty much screwed. So I thought, you know, while it's still registered and, you know, alive and well, to get rid of it and get something normal that has like the engine in it that's supposed to be in it and it's not going to be trouble. And I wanted something with a build number, etc. That's why I got the HSV. But you know what? The VR was an absolutely beautiful car. Like, that thing drove like it was like, I'd imagine that's what it felt like when you bought this car brand new. It drove so perfect, not a single noise. It was nice and quiet, comfy, you know, not slammed to the ground where you're worrying about scraping this and that. And you literally just got in that car, turned the key and drove it. Baby seat in the back, no problems. You know, not that crazy of a car that you're worried about parking it, and it wasn't a 10 out of 10, so you didn't have to worry about, you know, whatever, if someone hits their door on it, you know, it is what it is. But it was a bit vanilla for me. I like even going for drives with mates that have cool cars and stuff like that. I don't know, it was a bit boring. Like, don't get me wrong, beautiful car, loved it, but a bit too boring for me. So that's why it sort of had to go. It was, you know, an auto completely stock 5 litre is nothing exciting, that's for sure. But yeah, again, don't get me wrong, beautiful car, but yeah, it had to go. And it went to the right person. I only had 2 people, or 1 person come look at it, and they were going to let me know. But in the meantime, you know, the guy from Adelaide came and picked it up, and it's gone. A lot of people keep messaging me like, "What are you going to get next? What's in the pipeline?" And usually, when I put a car for sale, it's because I have my eyes on something else. Not a car in particular, but some sort of genre, you know, like when I wanted the WRX, I was looking for a WRX, not a specific WRX in mind, but just one in general. And, you know, this time, there's nothing. I got nothing in mind. And like I've explained previously, I'm a lot different to most people that are into cars. Like, you're into a certain genre. Like, I've got a group of mates that are into Jap cars, and I drive the Evo with them. And then I've got another group of mates that are into Aussie cars and V8s and stuff like that, and I drove the VN and the Senator and stuff like that with them. And I'm just into cars in general, so I will happily buy anything that tickles my fancy. Like, if I'm scrolling, if you see my saved marketplace items, they are all over the shop. You'll be blown away with what cars I have saved, because I'll literally buy anything as long as it's cool. And, you know, I'm just happy to own anything. I like experiencing different cars. So when I sell one car, it's usually the next one is going to be completely different, and then the one after that is going to be completely different again, because I feel it's just an opportunity to own something different and experience a different car. So, look, I don't know what's going to be next. Maybe there's nothing next. I don't even know, because I'll be honest, goddamn alarms. I always have transfer papers handy, and I definitely have money burning a hole in my pocket from the VR. And I have to say, for the first time in a very, very long time, because I've always got a car, you know, sort of on the go, this is very weird to me. I've been in this house 6 or 7 years, and there's never not been a car in this spot. So, I don't know, I kind of like it. It's nice and clean and open. So, yeah, I don't know, we'll see what happens. I've got so many Japan videos sort of banked up, which gives me a little bit of leeway. You know, not that my videos are very consistent anymore because of work, but I'm actually editing a video right now on my laptop. But we will see what happens. I would love to hear in the comments some suggestions. I love, you know, just the sort of banter and conversation about what you guys think I should get. And can I point out that a lot of people send me cars like, "Oh, this would be great for the channel, you know, this would get so much views." I don't buy cars for YouTube. It's the other way around. I just happen to do videos on the cars that I buy. My decision on what cars to buy have absolutely zero connection to what is going to get good views. I could not give a shit what gets good views. I just want to like the car and enjoy the car. If YouTube got shut out and blocked in this country, whatever, out of nowhere, it would make absolutely zero difference to my life. I'd still be buying cars, modifying them, doing this, cleaning them up. YouTube is sort of just a byproduct. I just like having the videos, you know, for the conversation and for the memories and, you know, stuff like that. So don't think that I'm ever going to buy a car just because it'll do good on YouTube. I just buy whatever the hell I want. And hopefully it gets some views, or it's, you know, kind of pointless. But anyway, so yeah, throw down some suggestions on what you'd like to see on the channel, just because I'm curious. Obviously the Aussie stuff does a lot better than the Japanese cars, but that definitely does not stop me from buying Japanese cars, that's for sure. Actually, the Subaru did really well. I was surprised that they were getting like 10,000 views a video. That was very good viewing that car. But anyway, and another point, the last 4 or 5 cars I've sold have all gone interstate sight unseen. The XE went to Canberra, my red Golf GTI went to Sydney, my VN went to Sydney, and the VR went to Adelaide. So I'm branching out here. It's sort of I like it because it's sort of a sign that I do good cars and do good ads, that people appreciate what the car is, and I'm sort of trustworthy. Does that make sense? But yeah, and I've never had an issue. Like, never had someone, crack the shits after they've got here, or they've taken the car the car's got shipped to them interstate and they've cracked the shits about it, saying it's not what was advertised. It's always been zero issues whatsoever. So that's kind of a good thing. But anyway, on to the money side of things. We'll see, broke even, lost money, made money. And trust me, I never get these cars to make money. It just so happens that sometimes car values go up, sometimes they go. I've definitely lost money on cars. I lost money on the WRX, that's for sure. That's probably my biggest loss ever. Not crazy, but decent enough. So we'll get to that side of the story. And now onto the bit that people love the most, talking about money, what the car was purchased for, sold for, parts, the videos, stuff like that. I'm happy to share numbers like that. I really do not care. So I bought this car on the 16th of the 5th, 2024. So I had the car pretty much spot on 1 year. Now, if you remember, I bought this car from Gray's, and we're using our ever trusty whiteboard that I use for all these videos. I actually won this car for super cheap, but I didn't get it for that much. The auction just ended on that price, which was $19,500 I won the car for. But obviously then you got to negotiate, find the middle ground between what I won it for and what his reserve is. So we met sort of in the middle there. So I bought this car for $24,675. That's with fees, everything out the door from Grace. Now, over the course of that year, I spent on the car $4,486.57 in parts. So every single little thing I bought, no matter what it was, even a clip, I wrote down in my parts list here and have the receipts and all that stuff. So I keep track of everything with dates, all that stuff, which brought the total to, so as the day I put that car up for sale, what this car owed me was $29,161.57. Now the parts I did, I'll give you a quick rundown. It's actually not that big on this car. So I did mats, a couple of stickers that needed redoing, one check strap, the washer bottle, boot struts, the new old stock headlights and indicators, a couple of dash clips, radiator cap, a driver's power window switch that shit itself, the new old stock tail lights. That was the biggest purchase for this car. So those new old stock tail lights, the 4 pieces, I paid $1,000 for. King springs, genuine front strut mounts, Monroe shocks all round, front sway bar bushes, the new old stock engine cover badges, the 185i, a PCV kit, rocker cover gaskets. I paid to have the rocker cover painted, the full exhaust system. I bought a new old stock bonnet badge because I was planning to paint the bonnet. A couple of other white line bushes that I actually still have. We painted the front bar. I had to replace the rear ashtrays because they were broken. Trans service kit, and that's it for parts. But I managed to sell, so things that I sold along the way were, I sold the stock springs and shocks that were in it for $300. I sold the old taillights for $50. I sold the old headlights for $30. And I sold that new old stock badge for $85. So actually not much got sold off this car. Usually I sell a whole heap of stuff, and I'll sell anything to get any dollar back to make the car more worth it. And so in the end, I don't know if you saw the car for sale, but I had it up for $32,500, which, going by all the other cars for sale, I thought it was actually really well priced, and it sort of shows because the car sold so quick. So I had it up for $32,500, and I ended up selling it for $31,500, which brings the profit on this car to $2,338.43 profit. Obviously, I don't count my own labor. I can't really count that in this. So I reckon I did pretty well out of that, for something that I just, got to mess with, make the car as good as it could be, drive it for a bit. I owned it for a year, and make a tiny little bit of money on top is absolutely perfect. Now the other thing, I'm not gonna ever do the videos as, making a profit, but I ended up doing 13 videos on this car, and in total those 13 videos got me $2,731.14, which ends up being around $210 average per video. And that's it, that's the numbers. So we've got the car cost, the parts cost, what it owed me when I put it for sale, what I sold it for, what the profit was, and what the videos got me in the end. That's it. I'm happy to show numbers, no problem. So that's it. This is the last Senator video you will see. I have created a playlist of all the Senator stuff, so usually I create a playlist of every car, so if it ever gets sold and you still want to watch stuff like that, you can go back and watch the old videos. There's a VR Senator playlist, and that's it. That's it for that car. It is gone. On to the next one at some point, and I hope you enjoyed that little 13 video series on trying to make that VR Senator as good as it can be. I'm happy I owned one. I got a HSV out of my system. I got a 5 litre out of my system. It's the first build numbered car I've ever had. And just to add on to the previous section out of this video, sort of talking about why I wanted to get rid of it, you know, saying it was a bit vanilla for me. There's actually a few other reasons. One big one was I can't do dark colored cars. I'm getting that picky that dark colored cars just don't work for me, because you see every little scratch and chip, and it kills me. I really need like the VN was good because that was white. It always looked amazing. And if that was a black car, it would have probably been all scratchy and blah, 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 blah. But I just don't think I can do dark colored cars, and I really need to keep that in mind when I buy another car. There needs to be light, something easily maintainable, just for my brain in here. And the other thing is, because I know people are going to say, you know, you're saying the car was a bit too vanilla and boring, why didn't you modify it then? There's two reasons for that. One, ideally in that car you'd want like a 355 with like Group A throttles on it, you know, that's like the ultimate. But a 355 is such a ridiculous amount of money that it's so not worth it. For a $20,000 engine plus, and then you got to do, you know, a trans or a gearbox behind it to handle that, converter or clutch if you go manual. Basic 355s like that, they don't make much power. Like I'm talking like the 250 to 300 kilowatt mark, which you can do with a cammed LS1, which I also wouldn't do, because being such a nice 90% standard car, build numbered, you know, really nice car, I didn't want to ruin it. If I was going to do an LS swap or something like that, I would definitely not do it to a car like that. I'd do it to like my VN that I had. Something that doesn't really matter. So they're my reasons. That's what I'm sticking to. If you don't like it, too bad. Anyway, that's it. See you in the next video. We'll probably be going back to the Japan stuff. Thanks, guys.